Woo-hoo-hoo. All right, let's see. Guys, who's gonna hop on early? Well, I should wear your necklace, babe. Check out Paul's new necklace, people. Hey guys, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Hey Genesis. So cute, girl. All right. So we have a few people on. I'm here early, guys, just to make sure that this thing looks fine and that my lighting is okay because there's so much brightness over here, and to make sure Sochima gets on okay. So welcome. Thanks for spending your Sunday with me. Oh, you guys like my hair? Thanks. I just washed it and styled it and did all the things. Hey girl, Emily. You so cute, girl. I miss you. Hey Molly. You guys are so adorable. Hey babe, can you see if you can close this? Because I'm not going to be able to hear. You guys hear the ocean? It's so loud.
I can see it from the start.
Huh?
I can see it from the start.
No, that's going to be for the people that stay to the very end. Combi's on. Woohoo! All right, let's see if I get like, let me see if I can get some people to request. Okay, Combi ready. Hey guys. All right, Combi, I already accepted your request. Hello, Combi.
What up, what up, what up?
Awesome. Hey, everybody. You guys are joining in. I love it. I love it. I love it. So we're just going to wait for Sochima to roll in here. And we gonna get started. How's your day going, Combi? Good?
Yes, it's going great. Hold
Oh,
on
I
one
love
sec.
your curls. They pop it.
They're raggedy right now, to be honest. I was actually contemplating wearing like a tam, but I was just like, I
No, it
don't care.
looks really good. Looks
Thank
really
you,
good.
thank you.
Love it.
The yours is all like, cut it and primed and prim. I see it. I
Yeah.
see. That's how you went for the cut. It looks good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I got some new products too, and like just learned how to style it differently. You already know this lifestyle is crazy.
Yep. MCFH.
What's up, y'all?
Next one. What's the topic of discussion?
Wagwan Brethren.
Well, one, bro.
Everybody say hi to Paul. He's alive after jumping out of a plane. Good job,
Yes,
babe.
sir. Combi, come, let's jump out of the plane together.
Ah, Akami,
Yeah,
would you
yeah,
go
yeah.
skydiving with us?
Of course.
Hell yeah.
Skydiving is super safe.
It's super safe.
Yeah.
Super safe. Especially our guides all had 10 plus years experience.
hmm
So that was really nice.
I'm pretty sure
Uh,
most of those guys who run those like tours and whatnot, they have
yeah.
a minimum of at least like probably like 200 or 500 base jumps. They probably
Yes,
have done it hundreds of times
for
before
sure.
they even qualified to be able to do it with others.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I think
for
yeah.
sure. Yay,
So I would do
yay.
it.
Yay. Yeah, it was
hmm
such an amazing experience.
hmm
Yay. Okay.
well, it's 7 now.
Yeah, let me see. My phone is on Do Not Disturb. But let me just make sure Soshima is on. Message. How are you guys? Okay, you have said someone said, "What's the topic of discussion today?" Ooh, we talking about a lot of stuff, y'all. It's a lot going on
Yeah.
today, so you will see. I'm just waving at everybody while we wait for Sochima. But while we wait for Sochima, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for coming on board on the next episode of AuthentiK TV. AcadM.E and I have had so many great conversations as to how we want to move this show forward. And we have decided that we're going to do one show every month. So this is the show for February. And we're so excited to have Sochima on and have her share her experience on 4 different MLM cults. Are you serious? AcadM.E, how many MLMs did you try before you're like, I'm done with this shit?
Well, I tried 2, and then I was just like, this is just a roller coaster. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I can definitely trust me. 4, I can definitely say that as like probably like that.
Hi guys.
Hey, what's
So
up?
she was on. Okay, good.
Hey.
How are you,
Yeah,
girl? Welcome to AuthentiK TV.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be
yes,
here.
yes,
You
welcome.
look amazing. Look at
Mhm.
this pixie cut, this black shirt, like the jewelry.
Don't
I'm
tell
loving
anyone.
it.
I'm going out later.
Yes! Oh my gosh. It's so funny because over here is so bright and it's early, but you guys, it's 7 o'clock over there, right?
It's dark.
Yeah.
Okay. So don't
Four
get it
more,
confused,
four
y'all.
more weeks, and then it starts changing from 5:30 to 6:30, and then
Nice.
2 more weeks
Can't
after
wait.
that, it's gonna be 6:30 to 7. Just hang
Oh
on,
my
guys.
God. I
Just a
love
few
it.
more weeks. Just
Just
a
a few
few more
more weeks so you get some sunshine.
Spring is around the corner. I'm so once our birthdays
Oh
come
yeah.
around the show. I'm
Yes, I
excited.
know.
Yeah.
So excited. So before we get started, I was just asking AcadM.E, today's topic is about Sochima really opening up her heart and sharing her story with you guys on her having an identity crisis and finding her identity after she left 4 MLM cults. So Sochima was actually asking AcadM.E, like, AcadM.E, how many MLMs did you join until you realized, like, I'm so done with this shit? So AcadM.E, you were saying...
No, I was just saying like 4 is definitely probably, I would say, if someone gets into this industry and really roped in properly, it's
Yeah.
probably like the average in terms
Yeah.
of before people finally get it. You know what I
That's
mean?
true.
Even though I didn't subscribe to the culture as much even when I got into the others because I just didn't have the energy to.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I got in a few, like 2 or 3 actually. No, probably even 4 too. It's just
Wow.
that I didn't invest the energy in them, so they're not much of a thought as
Right.
Amway was for me, because I invested a lot of energy in that. So
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, after Amway, I know I did one with you, AcadM.E, and then I did another one, which is the credit repair business. But that one I actually made money, and like AcadM.E was saying, I didn't go to any meetings. I wasn't like idolizing anybody. I wasn't like putting in much energy. I was just making like a couple $100 a week. And I actually increased my credit. I went from 500 to now I'm at like 750. So like the service was actually really good. And but still, I just did it for the service. A lot of people do it for like what Soshima's going to talk about, like the identity and the pins and like reaching all these things. So it's exciting to see that we have all overcome and realize it's not where it's at.
mhm.
Yeah. So I'm excited, guys. So Sochima, we are so excited to have you, like I said, and I really just want to get started here today, and I want to give you the floor, and I really just want you to share a little bit about yourself. Some people know you from, back in the Amway days. I know some people had DM'd me and said, I remember her. I remember her at our meeting. So there are some people that know you. There's some people that have absolutely no idea about you. So why don't you take some time and share a little bit about who Sochima is, where are you from, where's your family like, and then also walk us through that journey on what attracted you to your first MLM, which is where you and I met in the Amway BWW space. So just talk about that.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that introduction.
You're so
Firstly,
good.
I'm so happy to be here. Like I've been counting down the days.
No way!
I feel like
You know,
this is my personal diamond story.
yes,
Oh
girl.
wow.
Better than that. Better than that. I've been really excited. We were actually supposed to go live in December,
Yeah,
and oh my gosh, life got so crazy, and us trying to figure out where we're gonna live. And I know you got super busy.
yeah,
Akambi's life is also super busy, so life just got in the way. But
yeah,
what's so beautiful about what we have created in our life is just about going with the flow and just waiting for the right time. And I
yeah,
feel like this is a
exactly.
perfect time. So
Yeah,
yeah.
me too. So I joined the business in 2013.
Hmm.
That was not my first network marketing experience. Well, firstly, I'm from New York. I'm from, this area. It's very customary to have like multiple side hustles on top of a
Yeah.
full-time job. So when I went to
Right.
college at 18, I had a part-time job. I was going to school full-time, and then I joined a network marketing company. That was my first company. It was a
Hmm.
health and wellness products company.
Okay.
Um, I just remember them saying, "Oh, you have to do is find 6 people to make this amount of money," and I was like, "I got this. I could do it." Um, and that was kind of like the attitude that I carried going into the next one, which
Hmm.
was selling coffee. So I sold
Yeah.
coffee for some time.
Yeah.
And then I transitioned into Amway and BWW. And I was in Amway from 2013 to 2017. I was really young. I was 20, I think 19 when I got in, and 23 when I made
Hmm.
my exit.
Wow.
So yeah, that was my transition, and I got into it because of friends. I was never contacted.
Hmm.
I never like met a stranger or anything like that. It was literally the first MLM was my friends, my roommates in college, that introduced me to it, and then um, same with the coffee MLM, and then with Amway, it was my relationship at the time, my partner.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just have a quick question now that you spoke about like your transition and you talked about that it was friends and family that really got you in.
hmm
Why did you get into Amway after all these, MLMs that you were a part of? Why did you get started in another one with Amway?
So, couple of reasons. Well, one, the most important reason was I was in a relationship. That was my
Okay.
boyfriend at the time, when I was a freshman in college, and I was like, I'm gonna support
Right.
you, so
Right.
why not, but when you get competitive men and competitive women together, you just
Yeah.
you get a very interesting dynamic. So very quickly I just got wrapped into it because I was just like,
Mm.
I can do this. Like,
Mm.
just talk to people and bring them to me, and I'll get it done. So I really got involved. I really liked the discipline and the structure.
Right.
I think I needed mentorship. I needed leadership. I needed direction
Right.
at that time. So it looked appealing to me. It looked like, oh, couples that I recognize, married couples that are working together, making
Mm.
money together, traveling together. I could go with this. I could, like I could flow with this. That's what
Right.
really got me attracted to Amway, because I didn't see that in other MLMs so much.
Mm.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Did you have a question, Akambi?
Um, I was gonna ask her to even like expand it into what we were talking about with the religion aspect as well,
Yeah.
about
Mm-hmm.
and how that really resonated with you when you realize that this is kind of what they were using as their base
Right.
to kind of speak when it comes down to anything in the company.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that was the foundation of our relationship, was the business.
Hmm.
Everything that we did was for the business.
Yeah.
um, which is why when it ended, you realize that you have no real foundation, because everything was for this thing that you know, once you grow up and you realize that this is not something that you needed or you need anymore, there's no real foundation for the relationship. But at the time, in the years that I was active, that was the driving force. It was like, we have to make this work because we're together and this is what we do. Like, I commit fast. One thing about me, if it looks good, I'll do it. Sure, I'll sign on the dotted line. I'll, you know, like, I'll
Right.
commit fast and I'll do whatever. I'm unlearning this behavior now and taking my time, you know,
Yes. Read
scoping
through
things out.
contracts.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, being in a relationship, and also like, because when you get started, the first thing they do is ask you for your friends and family, like phone numbers, contacts, and stuff. So,
Right.
you know, in the effort of, it's love. You're connected to these people. You care about them. So they get you with the heart right there, because you're
Right.
either you're getting in to support someone, or you're getting in, you know, to get people to support you. So yeah.
So I realized
Exactly.
a while ago when you mentioned the first thing I do is ask you to write down your closest friends and your family, right?
Yeah.
So I realized this mind Jedi trick in that just a while ago as you were saying it, that if the person, if our mentors go talk to our families, our close families and our friends, and they are on board, even better, right? Because they can
Yeah.
always indoctrinate them into the system.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, if they're not on board and they basically shun you, even better as well, because they can bring you in as the victim and be like,
Yep.
yo, it's not
Yes.
even about the business, it's just supporting you as their friend, as whatever, and they're not even willing to do that. You
Yeah.
get me? So it's like a double-edged sword that no one would be able to pick up on, especially people
Right.
who are like, you know, people who want some form of camaraderie, want a group
Yeah.
that's positive, uplifting.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right.
I didn't
Can you
realize that.
sh- can you share a little bit of what about Sochima? What made you commit so heavy? Because like I remember you and your boyfriend at the time really like you guys were in it. Like you guys were one of the leaders that, you know, one of your mentors always constantly spoke about. So talk to me about what happened that made you decide, and then talk to me about like what you guys had to do within that commitment level, you know, like from traveling and all that good stuff. So talk to me
Oh
a little
my
bit about that.
God.
Because I don't remember. It
That
was
was a
crazy.
traumatizing. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm getting chills thinking about it.
I know. It's not easy doing what you're doing right now. Like
Yeah.
it takes a while for people to ask me questions about like my experience without me getting like before I used to break down and cry. Like when Paul used to talk about me speaking on stage, I like would break down and cry. And like now it's gotten to a point where we can just talk through it. So like
This
it's
is
okay if
healing, but this is
it's
like
very healing.
therapeutic.
Yes,
Yes.
for sure.
But to answer your question, I got committed at the conference. I
Mhm.
got committed. I didn't get committed at first. It probably took me a few months, maybe 6, 7 months of like kind of dabbling, coming to meetings,
Yeah.
but not really. I was in college, so my focus was school, education. Like I did not want to distract myself from school. But I was like, okay, my boyfriend's going to these meetings, so let me support. I'll buy the vitamins, this, that. So I started supporting, went to a conference, not as an IBO. So I was a
Okay.
guest, I was his guest.
Okay.
And the church service got me. I cried and
Gotcha.
I was like, this is it.
Oh no, they
Yes,
gotcha through the
because
church
I'm
service.
I'm a, I'm you know, I'm very spiritual.
Of course.
And I was like, how can this be bad if, you know, there's a church service, there were different services actually for different denominations. And I was like, wow, like this is like utopia. Like all types of
That's
people
very
coming
true.
together, you know, highlighting marriage and home life, making money. Someone
Yeah.
said, OMG, the church service.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
That's
how they
what got
get
me.
you.
That's what got me.
Wow. It's funny. Paul and I just got what was it? They like talked to us in March. They're doing like a podcast series about how MLMs, cults, narcissistic relationships, all that stuff. They use faith as a bait.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a faith manipulation month, the month of
Yeah.
March, where all these women are
Wow.
coming together and they're going to be talking about this. So they had asked us if we experienced that through BWW, and I was like, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
Wow.
To the
So
highest
yeah,
level.
to the highest
That's
level. And
amazing.
remember our upline, everybody knows him as Elmo, and we don't say his name for obvious reasons, but I remember when Elmo got asked to speak at the church service, he immediately took it and was like, hell yeah, because it was an opportunity for him to, continue to like get people in and get more
Yep.
people involved. And then
Yep.
every church service I would go to, if you remember, his testimony was the same for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
The
I know.
same
I remember it.
testimony
I
every
remember it.
single Sunday, every 3 months. And I remember as I started waking up, I was like, if your testimony is the same for the past 10 years, you're clearly not growing on a spiritual
Nothing's
level.
changing. You
Nothing
haven't
is
changed.
changing. You are
Yeah.
constant. You are the same. And I remember when they asked me to speak, I don't know if you were in the business when I spoke at a church service, and it was really genuine and raw. And everyone like got touched for me for some reason. Obviously with my story, I went really in, and it wasn't about getting people involved. It was just about me sharing my story, and they immediately took me off. I never spoke again because he
Wow.
used it as a bait and switch, right? As to get people in. I used it as like, oh, this is my time to really
Yeah.
share my spiritual
Yeah.
growth.
Yeah.
They completely took me off right away. So
Wow. I don't think I was there for that.
yeah, it was pretty intense, but yeah, I never spoke again. It was once, and that was it. Oh man. Wow.
Yeah. Spiritual abuse is real. And you know
Yeah.
what? That's actually a red flag for me.
Yeah.
That's, one of my red flags about the
Yeah.
business is the use of spirituality to bait in faith-based members.
Yes.
Um, but the thing is, when you start to wake up, like I went through spiritual warfare because I was just like, I don't
Yeah.
even know what to believe at this point because you you question your own like trust, like your own
Mm-hmm.
morals, your own standards. Like I don't even know what to believe. I went through like, and I'm still growing every day.
Yeah.
But I went through a a spiritual like a spiritual rebirth of just
Yeah.
asking God questions like what
Yeah.
you know. It's
Right.
really a mind. Can I curse on here? Like
Oh yeah, you could curse.
it's a
Hell
mind
yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. They really fucked it up. And that's the reason why, Kambi and I talk about this all the time, why they had so many meetings, right? It was Monday, it was a PACE meeting, it was a whole phone team, is because they have to keep
Ah,
you they have to keep
Oh
you
my God.
constantly in
Amazing.
that environment, because if you spend time alone is over for them. And
yeah.
that's why the lockdown is where I woke up for me.
Yeah.
That was my experience, because all that
Mm,
time alone, all that time with no meetings, no none of that, I finally spent time alone by myself,
yeah.
and I started to ask these questions like you said, and I slowly started to wake up, and it was game over after that. And I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
God, it makes sense why they constantly want us to be at every
Yeah.
meeting, at every holiday, at everything with them. You know what I mean? So
Association. The more you
yeah,
associate, the more you plug in. Yeah. Because you have nowhere else
exactly.
to go.
Right. What are some other, yeah, go
These
ahead,
are
Kambi.
actually very brilliant brainwashing techniques they
Yeah.
Yeah.
use, and they use it through social kind of basically engineering.
Right.
That's why the way how they start people is so important. You remember they always be like getting started right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pay attention to those small little things. Everything is tied together into one system. For me, I'm just curious as to who came up with this shit. That's
Me
just
too. I have that's my question too.
like who came up with this shit? Because they're
Yeah.
they're it's like evil
Genius when you think
genius,
about it.
Yeah.
evil genius, of
Evil
course,
genius for sure.
genius nonetheless. You know, so it's very just amazing to me to hear each individual story as to how they got in, how it impacted them, and then what made them come out.
For
So yeah.
sure. Can you talk about Sochima? What are some daily, they call it daily habits, right? what are some daily habits and behaviors that you had to do that ended up being toxic in the end for you?
Well, the daily habits, like what, the 9 core steps and stuff like that.
Well, the things that you had to do to be able to, like get the attention of your mentors, especially your
Well, I
mentors.
had to work way too
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. Talk about that work habit and that
I
work
had to
ethic that you
work
put in.
way too hard. I was going to school, so my
Right.
school schedule was from 8 in the morning till around noon. Well, I had to
Wow.
structure my class, so I didn't even really get to enjoy my call. And I was living on campus, and I didn't really get to enjoy it the way I wanted to, because I would structure my classes in the morning,
Right.
up until noon, and then from noon to like 7, I would nanny. So, you know how it is, all the girls in the
Yeah.
business
Everybody
taking
had the
care of
same
babies.
job.
Yup. And then from 7 to like 1, 2, 3 in the morning, I'm building my business. I didn't have a car, and I don't want to say where I live, but I live a little bit outside of the New York City area. So it would
Right.
take me like 2, 3 hours to get home, sometimes
Wow.
by public transportation. So I'm sleeping like 3 hours a night sometimes, pumping myself with vitamins for energy, like killing myself slowly.
Yeah.
Eating at 2 in the morning, eating fast food at 2 in the morning. That was the only time I had to like eat, you know?
Right.
Meeting people, contacting people, doing plans, I don't know how we did this. I'm
Me
thinking
either.
about like my schedule during my time in Amway, and just thinking about it gives me hives. I was doing a lot because I was managing my personal life. I didn't have a social life.
Right.
I didn't have a social life. I was purely just going to school, working, business, and I lived with my boyfriend at the time, and we were just, that's all we did. And
Wow.
it took now in hindsight, I'm like, oh, I was slowly like getting sick, like, because I ended up getting sick.
Yeah.
I ended up getting sick from all that activity, you know?
Wow. What did, other than contacting, which everyone really knows, what did building your business look like? Because you just said build your business, but what did that look like?
It looked like talking to people at all times of the day. It didn't matter what medium. So like if I'm always on my phone, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm sending messages out. I'm on Facebook, I'm sending messages out. Instagram, in person, I'm talking to people. And it was just this constant reminder of your dream, or your, you know, your why. Just like your whole day is structured around this one thing. The food that you eat, you know, everything, where you're gonna go after, where you're gonna go on the weekend. Like I didn't go to any family gatherings for a few years. For pretty much like 3 of those years, I didn't attend like family get-togethers. So like, why? Like, that's crazy. The holidays really got me. Like I was spending holidays at my upline's house, and like, why? I should have been with my family. Like that. What the heck? I don't know.
It's a form of like mental replacement without you realizing that you're replacing your family with them.
Right.
You know, because what you would normally do with family, you're not doing with them mentally. You're thinking, oh, what the hell is, it's like a conflict happening in your brain. Like this is not supposed to be happening. That's why it will drive some
the conflict
crazy.
in the brain. Yeah.
Right.
I like that. I like how you mentioned that.
Yeah,
It's like what Akambi was saying. They wanted us to replace our families with them. And he would constantly throw little jabs like, yeah, you know, go spend time with your family. But if you really want to grow, the winners would spend Christmas with us, you know, or the winners will stay with us, or the winners will stay to the very end. But like people had to like push themselves to spend time with their family because they felt guilty when they spent time with their family. Like for me, anything that didn't match with like the business building habits, I completely felt guilty. If I watched
Yeah.
a movie, I felt guilty.
Oh my
I
God.
felt like I was not going to go diamond that year. You know, if I spent too much time with my mom, I was like, my cross line is out there building their business and I'm no longer going to be the biggest leg. I would have anxiety and immediately like go
Yeah.
contacting on social media, or I'll go to a mall and contact. And
Isn't that so
it
sad?
was so sad.
That's why,
Um,
so part of the
yeah,
reason why I got sick, I lost my vocal range. I'm a singer.
yeah,
I've been a
yeah,
singer my whole life. The
right.
years that I was in Amway, I lost some of my voice because I wasn't singing. I wasn't listening to music, right? They told us not to listen to
Yeah.
music, watch media, watch movies, no entertainment.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I lost a little part of my singing voice. Like,
Wow. That's so
insane.
Mm.
detrimental.
Yeah,
Ugh.
insane.
Okay, so I know we talked about this, and you had wrote like a list of red flags, and you wrote it so beautifully. So I really want to transition to the red flags that you saw in
Yeah.
all the MLMs, and I want you to cover like point by point. I just want to have a conversation of every point because
Yeah.
you organize this so well, and I really want to talk about this. So for those of you guys that are here, I really want you to pay attention to how Sochima organized the red flags that she saw, not only in Amway, BWW, but across the 4 MLMs that she was in. Because there's so many people here, not only in Amway, BWW, there's people here in Herbalife or that tried Herbalife, there's people in Forex, there's people in so many different MLMs that constantly reach out to me. And do you agree that they're all the same,
They're
Sochima,
all
or
the same.
one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I saw the same thing, and when I read through your red flags, I just reflected on all the MLMs that I was in, and they all match the same thing. So can we go over that list? Let's start with the
Yes, absolutely.
first red flag that you noticed in all the MLMs.
First red flag I noticed is idolatry, which is
Wow.
basically worshiping, it's idolism. It's worshiping an upline. It's worshiping someone who is more successful than you.
Right.
And by the way, after I left Amway, I joined the Forex MLM.
Wow.
And I saw the same thing. Same pattern. And that really is when I woke up. Really, it's after I left Amway and I joined another one, and I was like, oh, this is the same thing. That's really when I was like, nah, I can't do this no more. But idolatry is worshiping like other people. Like, I remember, do you remember at the conference, like these conferences were huge. There was 14 to 15,000 seats, right?
Right.
And I remember just like watching people run from the back.
Oh my
through
God.
the aisles.
Yes.
Hey, Paul used to force me to do that shit.
Oh my God.
Paul, you get it. Octavia is calling you out, bro.
I used to be like,
Trample
bro, what?
each other. Okay. Jump on top of each other like animals.
Did you see people like would fall? Like there was a girl in a wheelchair that went with her wheelchair at the Richmond Coliseum and boop, 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 done. She was done after that. Yeah.
In maniac fashion to what? To worship who? Like people, regular people on stage. I think the diamonds were like, I don't know. I think you can respect someone without idolizing them. Like you can respect the work that someone does without and I'm learning that now. I'm in the industry, right? I'm in the entertainment industry, and I'm meeting people that I used to idolize as a child, and I'm like, oh, I understand the difference between like idolizing someone and respecting their work, because you don't know what their life looks like when they leave the stage. You can only trust what they're saying while they're on the stage. And then you come to find out that their real life is not really matching up with what they're saying. So why would you idolize someone? Because people lie, you know?
Oh yeah.
They do.
Of course. Can you talk about your upline? Because that's something that I know your upline desperately loved, is when they idolized him. And there was a point that you made that I was like, yo, she's right. Your upline had me, like, he would give me anxiety and I was not even on his team.
Me and my upline, we were not the best of friends. Okay.
I don't blame you,
I
girl.
just want to preface this by saying I was a rebel IBO. I didn't like him, and he knew that I didn't like him.
We're going to call him Johnny.
Let's call him Johnny. Oh my
Okay.
God. He
Oh,
really loved
Jesus
attention.
Christ.
Like, his whole thing was attention.
Yes, that's so true.
He
Oh my gosh.
loves attention. God bless him.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's better.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
these environments fuel the darker side of human beings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It fuels it in a way where they can disguise it as something being good, or for something good. It's like the ultimate high. You
Yeah.
get me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, being able to feed that ego,
Yeah.
have the recognition, having that everybody wants to be who you are. Yeah, it's the ultimate high. It doesn't last though. You know, it
No.
doesn't last. They're miserable on the inside. However,
Yeah.
it's like drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You get
they're
addicted
addicts.
to it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
They
they're
are an
Yes.
addicts.
addict.
Yeah, they're
And
addicts.
and just like addicts, when you try to tell them any different,
Oh
they
my
they
God.
won't accept it. They
Denying.
can't hear it.
Yep, they
Yeah.
And
deny it.
that's who my upline was, Johnny. He didn't want to hear nothing about nothing other than what are you bringing to me today? How
Right.
much what are you bringing to my table? I didn't feel like he cared at all about
Right.
like our lives outside of the business.
No. Agreed.
Yeah, which is ironic because they tell you, hey, we
Mm-hmm.
care about you. Here's my number. Call me for anything.
Mm-hmm.
But only if you reach this level right here.
Right. Yeah.
Only
Right.
if you produce this much, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, and you talk about his lifestyle because you're supposed to idolize his lifestyle
I
so
was supposed to
much.
idolize his lifestyle, but I couldn't bring myself to idolize him because he lived at home with
Mm-mm.
his parents
Mm-mm.
in Brooklyn without a car. And I had a car at the time. I've been living on my own since 18. I've been paying rent on my own and working, and I'm
Right.
just like, I can't. We're not equal.
Right. But because he was, I think, what, at the emerald level
Yeah.
in business, constantly on stage, constantly
Yeah.
being edified by my upline, Elmo, who is a diamond in the
Yeah.
business,
Yeah.
constantly had people around him, constantly had people following him, carrying
Yeah.
his bag, bringing him home, like constantly
Yes.
doing all these like slavery. He had a bunch of slaves and
Yes.
did slavery habits. And because
Yes.
Sochima didn't have that, she's supposed to idolize that.
Yeah.
Like, how does that make sense?
I
How does that make
can't
sense?
idolize. It's against my moral compass. You're not
Right.
you're not God.
Right.
Like, calm down. You know?
Right. Wow.
Yeah, no, I wasn't gonna do that. And I think he sensed that, and that's part of like the you know, they practice fake positivity.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like anything they say is positive. Like only good words come out. But
Right.
true empaths can feel
Yes.
when it's
Especially
insincere.
Pisces
Yes.
energy.
Oh my God.
Whew. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was a big red flag. Idolatry. And in the Forex MLM, I saw the same thing. People idolizing. People really idolize the CEO in that company. People really idolize the uplines, but they really idolize the CEO, which is very
Interesting.
different and weird. Yeah. I'm just like, what? You
I've
could
heard
start.
the stories of the CEO of that company,
Oh,
and
really?
stories of the idolization. Yeah, yeah.
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 The only reason, and again, when I woke up was when I realized that I didn't want Elmo in his wife's life. I'm like, wait a minute. I don't, yeah, no. But the reason why people idolize is because they haven't found the God within them. So they feel like they have to find the God within someone else
Wow.
because they
Yeah.
cannot lead themselves. You know what I mean?
Wow. Yes.
Once I found the God within me, it was game over for everybody, for myself,
Yeah.
for my family,
Yeah.
for them,
Yeah.
official game over. And and then like you said, once I found the God in me, I now can see everyone as equals. And this is where
Yeah.
AcadM.E is such a huge integral part in my life because when I had officially left, I was really like anti working with other men. And we can talk about this too in another red flag. There was like a lot of like feminist hate. And when I started working with AcadM.E, one of the things that I noticed is that he treated me as his equal. He didn't like
Yeah.
overpower his male energy over mine. And I was like, wow,
Yeah.
like I've never been used to that. But because he was
Yeah.
going through his healing journey and also found the God within him, I found the God
Yeah.
within me. And together we built an amazing company, right? And have an
Yeah.
amazing friendship. So that's the problem with people that idolize. And that is a huge red flag. If you ever find yourself idolizing people in MLM, even people on social media, you know,
Regular
like
life, like
Anybody.
in
anybody.
just
Anybody.
in regular life, just in
Yeah,
regular life. Do not
Yeah.
idolize one.
that is
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
true. It is really, and you had mentioned in your, and when you texted me, pastors, that's another big thing that I had to like
Yeah. So I
exit out
wanted to
into
make
my
sure
life.
I preface saying this is my personal opinion because
Right,
I know some people
Mm.
do, you know,
right,
practice however they want to
right.
practice. But I don't think
Mhm.
you need to worship or idolize pastors, gurus, you know, just
Right.
anyone who's it's giving cultish behavior. Like it's
Cultish
any
Not
human
behavior.
only that,
being.
it's like giving away your power. You get me? Like
Yes.
Yeah.
my power is the belief I have in my abilities, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm looking outside of myself for for some form of like verification as to what I am capable of doing. I'm denying myself. Just by
Mm-hmm.
the act of doing that, I'm denying my power.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You get me?
Exactly.
So that's why I am always a rebel. Anything I see everybody's leaning towards,
I
I turn
love it.
away.
On the other
I'm
side.
so I feel like there is a general like energy shift in the world with and thankfully
Yes.
because of social media because we can have a conversation like this and have people and spread the word, you know, as fast as possible and have people start thinking critically about the organizations that they join and you should be able to ask
Yes.
questions if something doesn't
Yes.
make sense to you or feel right, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Exactly. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Talk about the next red flag. Idolatry is a big one. Please don't idolize
Yes.
anybody. What is the second one?
Well, we can actually go into piggybacking off of this
Mhm.
conversation into spiritual abuse,
Ooh,
which is
Hmm.
a red
yep.
flag. Um,
Hmm.
using idolatry, using God,
Hmm.
speaking as if you are God and as if you
Oh,
are all knowing. Um,
yeah.
and that's a real mind. I believe in mind control. After
Yeah.
my MLM experiences, I believe mind control is real.
Yeah.
I believe they are mental slaves, and but I think I'm coming from a place of healing,
Hmm.
so I can only because I remember being in the business and people saying, like I remember somebody said it's a pyramid scheme. My friend's mom actually said it's a pyramid scheme, and I was one of those people that was like, you don't know what you're talking about.
Ah, my
Like
God.
and
Yeah,
now
me
that
too.
I'm on the other side, I'm the one that's like telling people it's a pyramid scheme.
It is.
And
It's
they're like,
sad.
you don't know what you're talking about.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So you can only pray that they'll wake up when they do and
Yeah, at the
they'll
right
take
time.
the red pill one
At the
day.
right time.
And because real life is out here, you know, we thought,
Yeah.
you know what's interesting? We
Mm-hmm.
thought we were in, we thought we were outside of the matrix when we were really in the matrix.
Ah!
It's so funny you say that
That's so
because
true.
it's it's funny you say that because we experience these things in this system. it makes me think, okay, if this exists in this system, why the general bigger system can't be constructed the same way? Because it's all just engineering.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when it comes on to religious aspects of what I experienced in BWW, I just always knew something got to give when I was, you know, that voice inside that
Yeah.
screams at you and says, "Yo, Virgin, this is bullshit." You know that,
Yeah.
right? You know that, right? Yo,
Yeah.
shut up, bro. Shut
Yeah.
up. I'm trying to make our life better.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
they used it
Oh,
to push their ideals of like what a home and a marriage and family life looks like. And when I did get married to my boyfriend, and we used that example, and it didn't work out for us
You
because
use the
we don't
example of what your upline was
of our
showing.
uplines,
Yeah.
of our uplines, because that was, you know, because I'm like, okay, well, they're God fearing, they're good, everyone's going to church. This can't be a bad thing, right? You
Yeah.
know, married couples working together. Wow,
you know,
it's great,
you
but
know what I wonder sometimes? I wonder sometimes if these people actually have the capacity or ability to even realize what it is they're doing. That's what I wonder sometimes, because I really think some of them actually believe they're doing some good.
Yeah.
They
I
don't believe
I
that they're
think
doing anything wrong.
I think good people get started because we were part of it. I think
Right.
good people do get started in network marketing for whatever reason. Mine was to make money. But then you get lost in that matrix, and
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the good people are the ones who, like us, just eventually phase out or never made it,
Yeah.
or quit or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that there are definitely good people that just feel stuck, and because they don't know their identity just as yet, they're afraid
Right.
to find it out.
Right.
You know, like for me, I actually went to school with Elmo's wife, right? And she is a good person. Like I know that she is. I grew up with her. My family grew up with her. Like she was one of my mentors even before Amway. And I just think about her constantly. I pray for her because like
Yeah.
if she was to have the strength to leave, she would literally lose everything. Like
Yeah.
where would she go? What would she do? I mean, it would literally take some serious soul, like I'm just thinking about it, I'm afraid for her. So
Yeah.
it's like I don't know. Like I don't know what she would do. And this is why it's so important to have to figure out your own identity even before you get
Yeah.
married or even before
Yes.
you do
Oh my
anything,
God.
because
Yes.
God forbid anything happens, you know where you're gonna go. Like you'll figure it
Yeah.
out, right? But a lot of
Yeah.
people that got married young, like yourself, and even a lot of people in my downline that got married young, they have nowhere to go. Like they wouldn't
They're
know what to
stuck.
do. They're
Yeah.
stuck. They're
Yeah.
so stuck. So it's really
I
creepy. Every
had to
time I think
find
about it, it's
myself,
crazy.
man. I had to. I
I've
had
Yeah.
to.
I've seen a lot of marriages in our circle of where we were in the system,
Yeah.
and most of them failed. I used to
Really.
always wonder about the statistic when they were talking about, 85% of marriages in BWW are successful. I was like, not what I'm with the young people. And Paul can attest to this. There are a lot of people who got married
Yeah.
and no, they're not married anymore.
I'm one of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it hard for you to let go of your marriage?
When I found out who I was, no. No.
Ah, that's the key
No.
right there.
You're
Most of
right. You
these
have to
women or men, I don't know. Most of the people in their marriage just don't know who they are. So that's why like in my team, they're all still married, but I don't know. I have this vision that they're all going to find themselves and then like separate. I don't know. But
I have
yeah,
a vision like that too. I think
yeah.
everyone just learns at a different pace. But I learn fast. I had a gut
Yeah.
feeling very early. I think I mentioned that to you guys before.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have this gut feeling from the beginning, but
Mhm.
you know,
Mm,
when you love someone, you do what you have to do.
for sure.
But no, there's only so much I'll let an organization or a person control my mind. I can't.
Yeah.
Leading into the next red flag,
Yes, please.
the cultish behaviors. Okay.
Oh
In
man.
all of my
Mm-mm.
MLM experiences, there's always like a chant or a pledge or a
Oh my
call
God. No, you
and
didn't, girl.
response. I have to breathe because just give me a second.
My
I
heart is
literally just
like
got
beating
chills. I literally
fast.
just
The,
got
the
chills.
the gesture is literally running through my head as you're
Ooh,
saying it. Like I'm having flashbacks of when I did it
oh my God.
during,
I'm getting hot.
during
That was
during
the
my
most
10th.
uncomfortable red flag. Like, if anything, your own body telling you like not to do
Yes.
something. Like, I don't even want to, but y'all know what I'm talking about. It was a hand
Yes.
signal and a call and response, and I didn't do it for the first 2 years. I felt so uncomfortable. I don't know how to explain it. I just
Really.
felt so uncomfortable doing it.
I would always make my own. So for those of you guys that don't know, the chant that we were in was like you go like this, and you go woo, and then you go
Oh
hoot
God.
hoot freedom. So I would make my own. I'd be like woo hoot hoot freedom, or like
I would
I was
be
just
like
like
this.
woo hoot
Yo,
hoot freedom.
Michelle, I guarantee you nobody does a better one than Paul. You should let him do it for you. He
Babe,
was
you gotta come out here.
he
He should
was
come on and
he
do
was
it
the
for us.
advocate. He was the advocate for us doing that damn silly chant and
Oh
No,
my
and
you
God.
gesture.
didn't.
Cause you know
Paul
Jamaicans
Nelson.
don't play. Hold on. You know Jamaicans don't play. We're like, yo, no, we're not doing it.
No,
We're not
no,
doing
I
it.
know.
And Paul was just like, come on, it's fun, it's fun. Paul was like, it's fun, it's fun. I'm like, oh.
No. Mm-mm.
Yo, you quiet in there. I see you. Nah,
Yeah, I
I
don't
believe
play
you
with stuff
though.
like that.
Yo,
I don't play with
chants.
stuff
I
like
didn't
that.
realize like chants and like yeah,
Think about
that is a big
history. How
one.
many times in history have we seen this play out very wrong? You know, a whole bunch of people, you know, with hand signals and chants and stuff. It's just that rubbed me the wrong way. And
Wow.
all the MLMs I was a part of did the same thing.
Did they do the hoo hoo freedom in
They
Forex?
had a call and response in the Forex MLM. It wasn't
Okay.
Hoo Freedom, but they said it was just like a roar. Like
Mm.
like there would be a leader on stage or whoever, and they would be like, "Okay, guys, it's time for the chairman call." That's what they called it, the chairman
Okay.
call. And it was a
Yeah.
roar, and everyone would roar at that point. Yeah.
But
I didn't
guys,
participate.
we did it. I mean, you didn't participate, but I definitely participated in the chants.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too.
And you know, now looking back, it's like, gosh, that's so culty.
Yes.
That is really culty.
Yes,
Like,
it is.
isn't it amazing? Like, a lot of people always message me this, and this is why I understand why 90% of people aren't elevating. It's like, well, you were in a call and you did this and you did that and this is and that, and now you're no longer in. Like, don't you feel some type of way? And I was like, instead, look at it from like a higher realm. It's like, wow, Michelle, Sochima, Kambi, they have grown and elevated so much that they had the courage to leave and prosper and grow outside of it. Like, that takes major growth, healing, prayer, and letting and surrendering and letting
Yes.
God lead our lives.
Yeah.
Versus what a lot of people are doing, no growth, no spiritual elevation, and they're just stuck doing the same thing they've been doing for the past 15 years.
And if you just
Mhm.
think about it logically, like forget
Yeah.
all the red flags. Logically, if you're not making money,
Oh
why
my
would you stay?
God. Oh my God, Jesus Christ.
That's
Yeah.
that's that's what actually got me to finally make the decision
Yeah.
to leave. It's like
Yeah.
I'm wasting too much time here, and I'm not seeing any profit. I think I should
Mm-hmm.
reassess plan with this company.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
fairly what it boiled down to. That caused me to just be like, nah, something needs to change.
Yeah.
'Cause the people,
Yeah.
I mean, the people there, they do a great job at like really bringing bringing people in. Like they really create this. It's like a subsystem, and they
Mm.
have like these. They create a new hierarchy in this system that they make it seem like it's not that hard for you to get to. When in reality, it's just like the real world. It's just that they were able to bring us in such a unique way that just causes us to just want to stay in that system.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's
Wow.
what brought the camel's back for me as well. Like
That's
the
what got me
struggle
out
comes back.
too. I got a
Yeah.
job and I started making full-time income and I was like, I actually
Yeah.
don't need this.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, Paul and I were driving back home yesterday, or I think we were having dinner, and he had made such an amazing point that so many people were getting jobs, looking for jobs, to pay for the business.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that weird that we were constantly
Yeah.
looking, like at least for me, I was constantly looking for the next job, next job, next job. So that way I can afford the tools, I can afford the functions, I can afford the products. And none of that was producing me profit. Like constantly always
It was
chasing.
producing your upline profit though.
For sure. Right.
If
That's
Exactly.
why. That's why.
if we had used the money that we were paying for the functions, the hotels, the trips, the products, everything, and put it in like just a regular stupid investment account. It doesn't even have to be like anything great. We would have
We would,
seen a
oh God.
way,
I've thought
way,
about this
way,
so much.
way bigger return on our investment
Yes.
than anything we would have seen
Thousands
to.
of
Yeah, we
dollars.
would have seen much.
Oh my
Listen,
God.
But you know, you live and you learn. Because I don't want to think
For
about it. Because
sure.
honestly, oh, Jesus, the amount of money that we
I don't want to think
invested
about it
in
either.
this business.
someone out there said, "Yo, they spent her and her husband spent
Yeah, $160,000.
$160,000."
That's crazy.
God
Jesus.
But
bless.
it's really like
Oh,
that. Like I didn't go
that's the
that far,
truth.
but a
I
nice four
probably spent
figures,
this good chunk as well. I don't know the math, but
a lot of
sounds
money.
about right. Wow.
Jeez.
What's the next red flag while I look
The
at this one,
next red
60K
flag
and die?
is cognitive dissonance.
Them college words. What does that mean?
So in psychology, it's actually when you contradict yourself. It's when you do
Hmm.
something that is against your own moral standards,
Okay.
but you make excuses for it. So that was my
Mm.
entire MLM experience.
Wow.
I've always had a moral compass. I've always had that gut feeling right here, but you make excuses for it, and you make excuses for your partner, your upline, just like basically being fake, like just
Mm.
and because
Yeah.
everyone is doing it, you're like, well, I'm part of this group. I'm a member, so I'm not going to deviate from what everyone else is doing, even if I know it goes against my true morals. You know what I mean?
Wow. Wow. Do you
Um,
have an example when you fell into that?
the toxic positivity
Hmm.
was an issue for me. And I'm unlearning this now, how to be negative. Because we weren't allowed to
Yeah.
be negative. That was something that was
Yeah.
one of our rules. Don't spread negativity. Don't talk about the negative things in your relationship, at home, at work, or
Mm.
anything. Only send it upline. But now that I see that was a tactic that they used
Wow.
to control you. Because if
Very
only
true.
your upline knows the negative things about you, that's a very
It's
that's a
like
Yeah.
pattern.
blackmail.
Sorry.
It's like blackmail.
It
It's like
totally
blackmail. I was
is.
gonna say that's a pattern that I've seen in MLMs and in cults. Is
Yeah.
they'll use not use, but the fact that they know the negative things about you and that you're the only person that I'm supposed to open up my life to, my bank accounts. I'm supposed to tell you exactly how
Oh
much I
man.
make, exactly, you know, like just exactly what's going on in my relationship. Like, I don't know, that toxic
Mm,
positivity, because so often I wanted to just like talk to someone real. Like,
yeah.
I just wanted to like, can we talk about the truth? Like, I think that's one of the
Mm-hmm.
reasons why I always gravitated towards you, Michelle, is
Mm.
even while we were in the Matrix, you were so raw. You were always real, and you could
Mm-hmm.
feel that. You can
Yeah.
feel real, you
For
know?
sure. For sure.
Everyone was
And
so fake.
everybody was so fake. And I constantly got in trouble for that, girl. Like, every time, the more real I was on stage, the more shit I got backstage. Or I would get a phone call after the open, or you can't talk this, you can't talk that. I remember reading a book on John Maxwell about being a better public speaker. And he said, like, come off the stage and come to, like, the floor and, you know, engage with the audience that way. So I tried that and I got so much heat for that. Like,
Wow.
you can't do this way. You have to do it exactly like this person does it, like that person does
Why?
it.
Like, why?
Everyone had to duplicate it exactly how Elmo showed the plan. And I was like, well, I don't show the plan like him. And then that's when they kind of took me off the schedule, and everybody complained about them taking me off the schedule. And that even gave him more, like, it got him even more pissed because he knew that I had a lot of influence that he desperately wanted. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like you said, he just wasn't real.
Yeah.
And he was just fake, and people fell through the fakeness. So I found a way to like talk to people and be real with people, and I always got shit for it. So yeah,
Yeah.
it was really bad.
Another thing about cognitive dissonance that I personally didn't agree with was the just the treatment of women.
Oh,
And
yeah,
now this is me personally. I felt like
hmm
as a woman, I did a lot of work. Okay, so
right,
I should get equal time on stage to speak
right.
about what I'm doing. And it was like a very like toxic masculine environment led by
hmm
ego. You know, men have big egos.
Yeah,
And my partner, I don't want to speak too much on him, right?
right.
But I'll speak for myself. I was doing a lot of work, and I felt like it was unfair that women only got a certain amount of time on stage after their husband, and it
Mm,
was a limited time. So like their husband spoke more.
hmm
But behind the scenes, I would see women working.
Yeah, the women were the secret sauce, but they never
Yeah,
got the recognition for it.
yeah,
Yeah, I definitely saw that too. I mean, obviously I was single, but I saw that from my upline that they just, the thing with narcissist and egotistical men is that they never wanted the women to overpower them because it
yep.
just brought out insecurities for them.
That
At
was
least
my
that's what I saw
relationship.
for really.
That was my relationship. Absolutely. I'm
Yeah.
as you guys can see, I'm opinionated. I didn't speak
Right.
a lot in the business. I think this is probably a shock to most people if they don't
Yeah,
know me
it's
already.
true.
But trust me, I was working and I was talking. But as a woman in the business, you were taught to be submissive, to be
Right.
silent. I was silenced. I feel like I was,
Mm,
you know, and
a
because
lot of women are.
he was so animated, and he was very
He
like,
was.
he knew how to like make everyone smile, and
And laugh.
I was just standing next to him with an attitude like this. Remember that? I'm telling you, I was the
He
rebel
was very
IEO. Like, I
charming.
didn't.
Yeah, I remember that. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Very
So it makes
interesting.
sense that you were getting the heat that you were making, because it's usually the ones, the real ones,
Mm-hmm.
that get the haters, you know,
Oh
because
yeah.
they tell the truth.
Exactly. And I
Yeah.
always talk to women in my team, like, you know, find your identity. Like, I would always give them like some feminist talk, and then, you know, Elmo would find out about it and immediately tell all the wives, don't communicate with single women in the business because they are not a good
Wow.
example for you. And I'm like, what? So I would get texts from these married women that I brought into the business, and they said, oh my God, I can't talk to you anymore. And I'm like, what? This is so crazy. Like, we've been friends for so long, and now I can't, because they were complaining about their marriage to me, and I would give them some advice on how to be a woman of strength within their marriage, right? I mean, a woman. I wasn't married at the time, but be a woman. And I guess the word got out, and they saw it as a threat that, like you were
Yeah.
saying, you were very opinionated, and
Yeah.
that's it. That cut your marriage off. So they were afraid that the women were going to have a voice and overpower the men, and that was going to be the end of it. And that's why Elmo silenced his wife a lot, because she's so smart. Once that girl finds her identity is over.
Oh my God.
It's done.
I can't wait. I have hope.
I do have hope too. One day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting hearing you guys' experiencing in your upline.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't say everybody from Craig coming down, because the Indians, they're gonna subscribe to that same kind of thing. They're not as controlling though, because I guess with the women, it's naturally, because of they're so traditional, they just naturally already kind of just in that mode of just that's my role.
Yeah.
Right.
But for Craig, he definitely gave Carrie her space to shine.
And that was nice to see.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
always liking Craig and Carrie because of that,
Yeah.
actually.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. And you know what? It's funny because he did that. It kind of percolated into everybody else who's just idolizing him. They're like, okay, if I want to be great, I'm gonna let my wife, get her
That's
time.
funny.
And see, those people kind of pop up a lot in the what do you call it now? The speaker circuit, right?
Yeah.
So. You
Yeah.
get me? So, well, that they constantly try to take you off of. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, and just hearing how much micromanagement is involved in the group is
Yeah.
like a seriously high level of control needed. I'm not gonna use the N word that everybody likes to use to describe the traits. I'm gonna be very specific with the actual attitudes that's
Mm-hmm.
being displayed and really highlight them, because that's controlling. Like, that person
Yeah.
needs the control. If they don't have it, it's like it's a
They don't
really
have
big problem
anything.
for
They
them.
don't have
Yeah, it's
anything
a really
else.
big
That's
problem for them.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's interesting to
Very
kind of.
interesting.
That's
Yeah,
their
to really compare.
superpower because they
Yeah.
barely have any other talents outside of that.
Yeah.
No,
Very
they
true.
yeah.
Very talentless.
Mm.
Uh,
Yeah.
and that's why they sponsor people like us who are very talented.
Yeah.
And then, he just basically like took my whole team that I built, and now he's taking the credit for it because that's what they're good at doing.
Same girl. Same.
Yeah. You already know these
Yep.
habits. All right. Can we talk about the next one? Next red
um,
flag.
Historical patterns that I've seen in all the MLMs that I've been a part of. And
Mm.
that's these companies go through cycles that I'm noticing, right? So like
Talk about that. Yeah.
they always used to talk about how amazing Amway was in the 90s. And I would
Mm.
hear these stories and be like,
Yeah.
okay, that was before the internet, so they did
Mm-hmm.
things a little bit differently. And then like the shift happened, right, with the online stuff, and then
Mm-hmm.
it's booming again. And
Okay.
Mm.
at the pandemic, like, I don't know if you guys know, but the network marketing industry grew 50%. So like a lot of people are joining these companies. And
Mm.
it's because of fear, because when you
Yes.
take people's jobs or like, ability to make money, that fear comes in, and they'll believe anything. That's what happens when you're in a either lost or like just temporarily broken, I like to say.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's a pattern that I'm seeing every time that I joined a network marketing company. It was during a major change in my life. When I was
Mm.
18, I had moved out and went to college. So that's the major change.
Okay.
And then when I joined I did the three different MLMs. And then I left and then I joined the Forex one, and that was during the pandemic. So things have
Really?
changed. Yeah, that was 2020. Well, 2019. So it was
Going into
like,
2020,
it was
yeah.
2019 going into 2020. So I was just a
Mhm.
few months ahead of the pandemic, but still, like, the pandemic really made me like go in a little bit. And then after a few months, I was like, no, that's when I started to realize this is just like before, and I'm not going to spend the next few years of my life being
No.
controlled by yet another organization.
Wow.
Also, the owner of the Forex MLM was in Amway in the 90s. And
Interesting.
it's interesting because, like, if you really were to become successful in this, it wouldn't be that hard to go diamond. Like, why didn't he go diamond? But he started his own company, because the real
Mhm.
money is in mind control. It's
Owning.
in getting people.
Yeah.
It's not in actually
Yeah.
building. You know, it's in getting
Interesting.
people to believe in you so much that they spend their hard-earned money, their checks, their paychecks, buying your product. Now the product with the Forex MLM, Forex is a real industry, by the way. It's a legitimate, marketplace where people can trade their money and invest.
Mm.
Problem with the MLM is that they're teaching it so fast because people want money quick. And investing is not something you learn fast. It's something you have to take your time learning.
Kambi knows.
Yeah, because it's so personal to you and your life and your money, and there's so many
Right.
factors.
Right.
But I saw that same like almost factory situation where you're just like, you're just building IBOs. You're putting ideas into their head. Everyone's doing the same thing. Everyone thinks they're an independent business owner, but they're just followers. So I was seeing that same pattern of follow the leader, all the sheep just doing what their upline is doing, moving to the same city that their upline is moving to.
I fell into that.
Eating the same food their upline is eating, just idolizing people, following the, and I was just like, no.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy. Wow.
So
Yeah, I definitely fell into that. I moved to New Jersey where they live.
girl.
Like 20 minutes away, and then like I would barely see them. So they make you move there, but then they don't want to give you the time of day.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
part of the mind games.
Yeah, it's all part of the mind game. Yeah. What is the next one?
Did I talk about isolation?
No, talk
Okay,
about
so
that's a big. Well, I mean, you
red flag.
did in terms of like you talk a little bit about like the holidays, but you could definitely go into depth on that.
That was a red flag too. Like, just being encouraged not to hang out with friends or family or watch. I'm very careful with what I listen to. I've always been this way. Again, in the business, right? You just make excuses because you're in the business. So I really didn't want to listen to talks. Oh, I was a rebel IBO. I had a hard time listening to talks. My partner always listening to talks. Oh my God. Like, and we lived together. So like he would play in the house all the time.
Oh no. After a while I couldn't listen to the BWW talks.
We went to
you
sleep
bed,
to Indians,
with Indians
talking.
No way, girl.
Yeah. But then that's the power of repetition. Eventually I'm just like, all right, I'm in. I'm gonna listen to these talks. And I stopped watching TV, stopped listening to music, stopped doing all the things that I love. I love going to the movies. I like going to concerts. I like traveling. They would make us feel so guilty for doing the littlest things. Like, it's a concert. Relax,
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah, I remember I was banned from going to Broadway shows until I reached the Emerald level. And Broadway has always been my dream, whether on it or go to it. And I was banned from going to Broadway shows. And I remember when Elmo and his wife went Emerald, he took her to a Broadway show. And then when your upline went Emerald, they took him to a Broadway show to like push my buttons. Your upline had no interest in
Wow.
Broadway, and you know
I
that.
know.
He has no
Wow.
interest in that shit. And they took him to see Anastasia on Broadway because he won Emerald before me, and that was like this big show. I'm sure you remember. Everybody was like, "Oh shit,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
bigger than Michelle now." And like
Yeah.
I went on
I
depression
remember.
mode and all that. And they took him to see a Broadway show, and I'm like, does he even know the words of the
Right.
Anastasia Broadway show? Like, but that was just to push my buttons. I know that. So
That's interesting.
yeah, I've definitely felt that isolation too.
So weird, but it works. It's a tactic.
It works.
Because when you're detached from what is from these influences, your family, your friends, or TV, you don't ask questions really. And
Yeah,
then
it's true.
because when I left Amway, I told you I started doing everything they told us not to do. I started cursing, started going out. I started watching the news. I needed to, because that was something that we learned in the business. Don't watch the news. Don't watch
Yeah.
negative, you know. But I'm like, it's part of the world. Like that's part of that toxic positivity thing that I was talking
Yeah.
about. Like you can't ignore all the shit that's going on. You don't have to let it seep into you. You can live in a bubble if you choose to, but it's good to be aware of what's going
Like
on.
know
So
what's
I
going
just
on.
started going out and talking to people. I started traveling by myself, going to different
Love that.
cities, countries. I was a nomad growing up, Michelle, I was telling you. So like the fact that I've been kind of in New York for such a long time is kind of hard
You're
for me. So
itchy.
I was like, I need to talk to people because I'm pretty sure life is nice on the other side.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's what I did. I
Amazing.
started living life. I just started living life. Yeah.
Do you have any more red flags in your list before we talk about like all the amazing things you're doing?
I don't have any more red flags on my list. No.
Okay. So let's transition to you are no longer in any MLM companies, right?
No.
You are free
I'm
from
free.
all cults. You are experiencing all green flags now.
Yes. And I'm anti-MLM.
You're anti-MLM, okay.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
Are we anti-MLM officially, Akambi? I don't know. Oh, we are? Okay. We're
I
anti-MLM too.
I definitely am. I'm so against it.
Yes.
I am.
We weren't, just like to be transparent.
Like mental drug. MLMs are like mental drugs. It's
They
like crack
are.
cocaine for the mind. Because most people never recover from this. I remember going to some meetings in Virginia that Angela Nardoni held. And, you know, he would be there sometimes as well. And there are people there who has been in the business for 35,
Oh, Lord
40
have
years.
mercy.
That's my fear. That was my
Being at
fear.
the same level, being at the same level all their life, and the business is their life. You know, like they don't know anything outside of the business.
Yeah.
Old
Oh,
people, like
man.
their whole life has just been wasted away.
Oh, God bless. God bless.
You know?
I saw
So,
that at the conference.
yeah, that used to just, I used to look at that sometimes, even when I was in the sauce. I used to just look at them and just be like, why are they still here? You get me? Like this was a business decision you made. This is no longer a good business move. What are you doing?
Right. Like, wake up as a business professional, like as a businesswoman, think. You know, after a while, you got to look at the financials. You got to look at the ROI. You got to look at your KPIs. You got to look at the shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, now that we run
Just
an
an
actual
expensive
business,
hobby.
hell yeah. Now that we run an actual business, oh, I am numbers heavy. I have my operations manager send me KPIs every fucking week, every month. How I look at everything because I'm like, if we're not profiting, I'm done.
And it's a real business. Let's put that out there.
Yeah, of
It's an
course.
actual business that you started, that you own.
Right.
You know,
Right.
because IBOs are not business owners.
No. If you're in an MLM, you're not a business owner. If you don't have an LLC, if you don't have a tax ID, you are not a business owner. If you're not paying taxes, you don't have an accountant, you don't have cash flow coming in. If you don't have money coming in your LLC through your business bank account, you are not a business owner.
Right. Thank you.
Okay? If you did not make the product like in your own
might
warehouse.
you might give some of them a heart attack tonight.
If you're not making the product in your own warehouse, if you're in a product business, if you're not packaging up the products and going to FedEx every day and shipping it out, you are not a business owner. You don't have an LLC, you're not a business owner.
Anybody who's in Amway are just distributors, and Amway themselves, the company, that's what they that's what they refer
call
to
it. Yeah, distributor.
Right, you're a distributor.
BWW know. It's like, oh, become an independent business owner. You get me? Like, what?
You're an independent contractor.
Yes.
We're distros. Yeah, we're distros. We're distros.
Right.
Yeah. It's okay. We can talk about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So Shima, it was so funny when your upline went emerald. They had told me, I had to learn from Akambi. They had told me that I couldn't get an LLC until I made 6 figures in BWW. So I was like, oh, I guess I can't do that. So your upline made this humongous announcement that he officially has his own LLC and he's an official business owner and all these different things. And I'm just like, what the heck? Like, I want one. Years later, I figure out that anybody can get a fucking LLC. Okay,
at any time.
You can go right now. At any time, you get your own LLC, and it's actually yours.
Yeah, crazy
fuckers. I hate y'all. Okay, green flags. So Shima, share with us, now that you are cult free, you're MLM free, talk about all the beautiful things that have happened after you left. Yes, let's bring some light up in this conversation.
The most important thing that I've received is my peace of mind and my head, my mental, my mind. I do believe mind control is real, and I feel like I got my freedom. Like, I don't care. I don't care if I go broke. I don't care if I never make money again. I have my mind.
Yes.
Because that was probably the most important difference that I saw was when I left. I started my health and wellness journey in 2018. So I started eating better, working out, and when you take care of your body, I mean, physical, spiritual, and mental, right? All of it.
Right.
So I started to take care of my physical, and then my mental started to clear up, and then my spiritual started to align. Right? So I was like, oh, okay. I get that because my mind was being controlled, my body was reacting. Because I was active. I feel like we were moving around a lot. We were doing a lot.
Yeah.
I get affected by, like, me personally. I don't know if anyone else has experienced that, but yeah, mind, body, and soul, they're all connected. Yeah. That's my testimony. When I started getting healthier, I feel like I think so clear, just clarity of thought.
Wow.
Amen.
Amen to
another
that.
green flag. I'm making real money.
Hello. Abundance in the finances.
That's nice.
That is amazing. Amazing.
When you love yourself and you actually accept who you are and you know who you are, and like you said, you have God in you, actually, God wants you to be abundant. You become abundant by being yourself. When I started to just do me, all these opportunities started coming. I'm literally living my dream, honestly.
I love that for you, girl.
Because I have a career. I finished my degree in healthcare administration. So I'm all about healthcare and healing. So I work in the medical field, and I also do music, and I model, and I do all this cool stuff. And it's literally what I've always wanted to do both. That's one thing about me. I've always wanted to be a corporate woman and also be like in entertainment somehow.
Love it.
And I'm doing both. Like, what the heck?
Amazing.
That was why I wanted, honestly, that's why I built the business. I thought it would be a faster vehicle to get to where I'm at now, but it wasn't.
No, yeah.
That was always my thing. Like, when I go diamond, I'll use the money to invest in these up, but then, like, I never freaking went diamond because I don't want to.
Right. 0.02% of people go diamond, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. So what are some really exciting projects that you're working on now? I know that you have some music out, you have some music coming. Can you share a little bit about some exciting things you're working on now?
Yes. Okay. So I do have some music out. Um, to some people, it's new. It's old to me. So I have new music that I'm working on now.
Cool.
I started learning about Forex and cryptocurrency in 2019 when I joined an
Okay.
MLM, but I didn't stop my journey after I left.
Okay.
Like I said, it is a legitimate marketplace.
Right.
So I've been
Mm-hmm.
learning about investing, and I am going. I'm thinking about teaching people about investing, but in a way that's not related to MLMs,
Okay.
but in a way that's related to music. So
Okay.
yeah,
Hmm.
I'm really interested in cryptocurrency and the blockchain and all that good stuff. I don't want to bore you guys, but
I
I'm
love
like a
it.
nerd when it comes to like tech and stuff. I love
I
that.
love
I love
that.
it.
We
Um,
could talk about that for hours.
oh man, I really
Oh
could.
yeah, you and Akambi can talk about that for hours. And in our next authentic launch, which I don't know if I've talked to you about it, but we are launching a new branch in Authentic where we're going to create a community of people that have left the MLM, and we're going to provide them with resources such as
Nice.
investing and real estate and travel tips and all these different things that I wish I had when I left, because I had to figure all this shit out on my own. I had to learn how to book flights. I had to learn how to get a new passport, like all these different things. So I would definitely love to talk about you and Akambi, like tag teaming on providing those
Yeah,
resources on investing, because
absolutely.
a lot of people need that. Like investing is important, owning real estate is important, all this stuff is super important.
Learning about just the financial markets, stocks,
Yes.
I'm just really into forex and crypto, and I want to take it global because I'm Nigerian,
Yeah.
and I was raised in Nigeria before I came here, so I want to
Wow.
take it back home. I want to take this
Yes.
global and take it from there. Releasing my
Cool.
music on the blockchain. I have so many ideas, girl. I was going crazy in quarantine with ideas. Like
I
I just
love
have
it.
so many. I At some point in my life, I want to open up a health and wellness clinic.
Okay.
So it's kind of like putting my healthcare administration and my health and wellness experience together, because I think
Right.
people need preventative healthcare that's holistic,
Yes,
and not
girl.
so
Yes.
much like, yeah, that's a passion of mine. And again, I want to take that back home. I want to
I
take a
love
lot
it.
of the stuff that I've learned here back to my home continent and grow business, do international business. That's
I
really all I love.
love this.
Yeah.
Love this. What are you looking forward to this year?
Um, this is a spiritual year for me. I just want to chill for the most part. I feel like I've done
I
a
feel
lot.
you. I feel you on that.
I just want to go on vacation. I want to be you, Michelle. I want to be in Hawaii.
Come to Hawaii. Okay. Let's jump out of planes together.
I haven't traveled in 2 years due to the pandemic. So I'm
Wow.
like, I'm going to Puerto Rico next month and I'm really excited.
Okay.
Like
Do
this
it,
year I'm
girl.
chilling. I need to just I feel like I've done a lot.
I love
I
that.
Yeah, this
Well,
year is like I'm just looking forward to getting even closer with God and just
love
chilling,
it.
traveling and mending those relationships that I broke in the business, you
For
know.
sure. It takes
Yeah.
time to mend them back.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm chilling for this year. And then come 2024 and stuff, you'll start seeing a lot more of these business ideas coming to
Come to
fruition.
fruition.
Mhm.
I love it. And
Yeah.
it's gonna blow up.
That's
Yay. Well, before we wrap up, yeah,
great,
Kambi,
Jen.
do you have anything you want to say to
No, just
Sochima?
thanks for sharing your experience. It was great being able to have the conversation and really go back and forth with you and your experience and how you
Yeah.
pulled through it. It's really good stuff. And make sure to drop a reference. Well, when we repost this, we're going to drop the links for all of your stuff and your content so people can
Yes.
get.
Okay. Yay.
For
Uh,
sure. Yes. And
because I
you
would
know, I
definitely want to hear the songs if it's talking.
yes.
You're specifically singing about crypto.
No.
Oh,
So,
like,
I'm
like,
what
huh?
I'm doing is I'm making music that's like very cultural. Like I really like learning about different languages. I'm a diplomat kid, so like I kind of grew up like learning about different cultures. So I like to make different types of music, and I will be like releasing it on the blockchain as an NFT. Do you know what
Oh,
NFTs are?
okay. Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, oh
yeah, yeah.
yeah, he
Oh,
does.
now I
Yeah.
know what you're talking about.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. But then that gives people an introduction to the blockchain in a way that they can like understand it, because it's music. Everyone loves music. But then
For
if you're,
sure.
I want
I got you.
it's
I
yeah.
got
We could talk about this like
you.
for I could go
I
on and
got you.
on.
I got you now.
I
Yeah.
would love to talk to you about this stuff too, Sochima. So
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Before we wrap up, do you mind if we get a answer from you from this question
Yeah,
that
yeah.
someone just said? So someone had asked you, what would you say to someone who is currently in an MLM?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I would say your feelings are valid.
Hmm.
Whatever your true feelings, like that gut feeling right here, because that's really what it was for me. I didn't have any
Hmm.
other explanation, but I felt like I didn't belong. I felt like it was wrong. Um, your feelings are valid, and trust yourself. Trust yourself,
Hmm.
you know? Whatever you have to do, whatever environment you need to take yourself into to trust yourself. So, like, if you're in New York, for example, and this is hustle culture in New York, and everyone's kind of
Yeah.
like on the go all the time. If you need to take a vacation to somewhere that's a little bit more laid back for you to just think clearly and, like hear God, or like if you're not religious, hear, like listen to your gut, that's what you need to do. Trust yourself. Your feelings are valid.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Well, Soshima, this
Definitely.
is amazing. I just want to share 3 things that I love about you. And again, anyone that comes on our show, I really want them to feel empowered. Because for so many years, I always felt like as soon as I left that I was going to be lost, I was going to be a no one, that I
Mm.
wasn't going to be successful. So 3 things that I love about Soshima is, number 1, you are a light. Like, you literally are a radiant light in this world, in this show, in this lifetime. You're just a light. And even before, like, I always looked forward to seeing you at the meetings. And when we reconnected, I was so, so excited. So that's my
Me
biggest
too.
thing for you. Second thing is you being happy in the present. Because for so many years, I always thought about the future, and you and I are very similar, where we're just happy in the present.
Yeah.
Like, if
I'm
I
just
got
happy to be here. I'm grateful.
exactly, just happy in the present moment.
Yeah.
Because so many people are like, oh, I'll be happy when this happens, or I'll be happy when life looks like this. And it's like you said, you're living your dream life. I feel the same way.
Yeah.
And that's so beautiful that you're happy in the present. And the third one is that you're, like you said, you are a striving, thriving, beautiful female woman of color. And it's just so amazing to see, because that is very rare in the world. And you're just spiritually aligned, which is so beautiful.
Oh my God.
So I'm
Thank you
so
so
excited
much,
to know
Michelle.
you. Yes, I'm so excited to know you, to be a friend. And just know that anywhere in the world that Paul and I are at, you are invited to come. And
I pick
we're so
Hawaii. Can I
excited.
come tomorrow?
Yes, come to Hawaii. Hell yeah. We're here till the end of
Oh
February.
my
So
gosh.
you're so welcome to come.
Wow, thank
And we
you.
love you. We love you very, very much. And we're
I
so
love
proud of
you
you.
so much. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so
Thank
much. I
you.
appreciate that.
You know.
Yes.
Yeah. This was a great live. I think
Yeah,
it was.
it was.
We touched on a lot of really good things. That dive depth, that went more in depth into just the whole mentality of how the MLM industry works in indoctrinating people.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure. Obviously, you're
Thank
going
you
to be
so
blown up. Yeah, this is going to be on IGTV, so I'm going to post it as soon as we can.
much.
Akambi
Yeah.
is going to do his thing to send me a copy so I can post it on our YouTube.
Mhm.
So, of course, people reach out to you. Email, like, what are some places that people can reach out to you?
Yes. I am available. I'm here to talk about experiences. I'd love to reconnect with people who have also left that I
Yeah.
developed friendships with in the business. You can email me. My email is in the link in my Instagram bio. You
Yeah.
can, I have a Google Voice number. You could text me. I'd love to have conversations. DM. I'm available on all the platforms. Yeah.
Perfect. So yeah,
Awesome.
guys, this is going to be on YouTube. So we're going to put all her music, her email, her Google Voice, blow her up, show her some love, respect her time, and support. This is awesome.
Uh,
Yes.
Hey.
sisters asking us to do a podcast.
This is a podcast.
Pretty
Exactly. Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Don't be throwing more work at us, okay? We out here trying
This
to be
is the
peaceful
podcast.
this
Yeah.
year. This, like,
So
Akambi and
we
I,
have a
yeah.
last minute question from
Okay.
Mr. Nelson. What
Paul,
advice do you give to someone who is still healing after leaving an MLM?
that's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a really good question. I mean, I'm still healing after my MLM experiences, and I would say, um, I, I'm gonna go spiritual again.
Mm-hmm.
I just align yourself. That's really what helped me. Because once you align yourself, everything else starts to make sense.
Mm.
I think if money was your motive, when you align yourself, you will find money making opportunities. Like they will
Very true.
come to you, and they will be good, right for you, for who
Right.
you are. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because not everyone is meant to be an entrepreneur.
That's true. That's very
Not
true.
it's okay to get a regular job if that's what
Yeah.
speaks to you, and you can be happy at a job if you're passionate about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say continue healing, spend time alone, and and whatever you have to do to spiritually align yourself with your creator, because he will lead you where you're supposed to be. Like the more you be
Amen.
yourself and the more you are in tune with God, the more blessings just happen. You don't have to do anything. Like you just be yourself, and the right opportunities will come to you. The right tribe will come to you. Like I found my
Right.
tribe after, you know,
Mm-hmm.
the
Love
right
it.
people will come to you. Everything. Yeah.
Amazing. I love it. Yay. Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Everyone that spent your Sunday evening with us. Thank you guys so much. Everyone in the East Coast, West Coast. Thank you guys. I'm so proud of you, Sochima. So proud of you,
So
Akambi.
proud
I
of
love
you
you
guys.
guys.
Guys, yeah.
Yes. I love
Love
you
you guys.
guys so much. A couple of announcements. Obviously, yeah, this was so good. A couple of announcements is we're only doing these once a month. That's just the boundary that we have when it comes to these shows. It does take some time to like interview. So Shima will let you know we have a whole process that we go through and we follow through, and it does take some time. So the next episode will be sometime in March. We will do some promotions and you'll get some updates on that. So make sure you're on our email list. You're following all of us on Instagram. And there will be an announcement on the next branch of Authentik. For those of you guys that were in Amway, BWW, or in all MLMs, make sure you turn on your notifications so you can learn more about what's coming next. You definitely want to be a part of it. It's just going to be a great community of people coming together and just sharing knowledge and resources so we can all thrive and grow in this lifetime. And it's going to be amazing. So it's going to be really, really fun. Check out the description to get in contact with Sochima and all the amazing things that's going on. And other than that, make sure you guys stay authentic. The K in authentic, Sochima, is for the kingdom of God. When you are authentic for God, yeah, a lot of people don't know this. The K in authentic is being authentic for the kingdom of God.
Wow.
Because when I tried to be authentic for someone else or be authentic for my kingdom, for selfishness, it never really worked out. So that is what Authentik is all about. And you literally shine authenticity. And we're so excited to have you on the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy for this. This was
Thanks.
so healing. And mind you, Michelle, I did want to highlight that, like, yeah, when I left the business, watching the reasons why you left Amway and BWW video validated so many feelings that I didn't even realize that I had. So
that video is
thank
amazing.
you for your authenticity. And I know this is very scary for me. So I can only imagine how scary that must have been for you.
Oh, very scary. And I'm just grateful I had Akambi there because he really helped me out a lot in my healing. And I feel like we need to do an updated video because we were not anti-MLM, which is why I was like, are we
Yes.
anti-MLM now?
Yeah.
No, we weren't.
Yeah, we
We
were
were not.
still in Amway, and I think we were still playing
We were,
around with other MLMs. So we
we were
definitely,
tiptoeing. Yeah.
yeah, we definitely need to make a new video. We'll figure it out. But if you follow us on social media, you kind of are updated as to what we're doing now, and it's really exciting. So thank you, Sochima. It's so great to be connected with you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Speak
Have
to
a
you
wonderful
soon.
night.
Okay, nice.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, guys, how the hell do I end this? Okay. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, okay? You'll see this on the IG Live, IGTV, IG, all the things. Okay, hold on.